Okay, let's see if we can get something good. Ooh. Hey, free pick on Game Boy. Let us get something good for sure, then. Alright, I was informed recently, I know the reactions are already Home Alone, but you said you were gonna play a good game. But I was informed recently that this Game Boy version is a port of the Super NES version of Home Alone. And I myself enjoy that one. I think it is probably the best of all the various Home Alone games, which are, you know, invariably terrible, so let's find out if that is accurate and see how good this Game Boy port is. If it even is a port, it might be a totally different game, because that was the interesting thing, is that on each of the different systems, they made a completely different Home Alone game. So that was always kind of surprising to me, because usually when a game makes the rounds on all the systems, it's just the same game ported over, and, you know, the little differences are mainly due to the graphics system can handle, the music chip inside of it, whatever amount of memory it can handle for, you know, the number of stages and the things happening. But no, with the Home Alone games, they just made entirely different games for every single one. So yeah, this is exactly the Super NES version, so that is pretty nifty. Can't hear the music at all. Don't know if that'll be a good or a bad thing, but one moment while I adjust it over here. It's a tiny bit better. Let's carry on then. Let's see. So these are the basic generic bandits. Obviously, in the movie, it was just Harry and Marv working together. They didn't have any kind of gang, but I do believe that this sort of takes place after the movie, in which they've already escaped from prison and gathered up a whole different gang of people to try and rob the house, and Kevin is left home alone again. Because, video games. So, yeah. So yeah, basic object is to, fill up the basement vault with goodies from each wing of the house. Various traps in place to try and defeat the basic bandits with. All the basic bandits can be taken out with our little regular weapons, like we have this slingshot. Takes quite a few shots, but still works out. And Harry and Marv cannot be defeated in that way. They can be slowed down, but only the various traps can actually take them out. Don't remember if that was a thing in the in the Super NES versions. Well, versions. In the Super NES version, singular, only one existed. That'd be really weird. Reminds me of, what was it called? I think it was Temple of Doom, or... Yeah, I forget which one it was, but, there was an Indiana Jones game that had, two games which were completely different, but both had the same title, and were both depicting the same movie. Might have been Last Crusade, but either way, totally beside the point. The fact I was trying to make was that in the Super NES version, once you opened a thing, it stayed open. And I'm being told that the toilet seat can rocket you up. Oh! Cool. Thank you for that. That was not a thing I've ever been aware of. Maybe it does that in the Super NES version too, I'm not totally sure. Why am I climbing up here again? We already got that. So anyways, very hard to tell by the indicator in the upper left, but we are collecting slices of pizza. Once we have 8 slices of pizza, we will get a 1-up. In later stages, we will be able to find whole pizzas, which act as a 1-up in a single item. Well, can't get anything from the picture in this version, but that's okay. Oh my god. That has got to be the buffest version of Joe Pesci in anything. It's just downright ridiculous. Oh my. Okay, so, other things. The cookies that I'm picking up, they give you a hit point back, which, you know, I would need if I were to go over that way. I'm just gonna grab that and run. You know, we have our 3 hits in the lower right corner there. So yeah, that is how we, keep track of that. I'll just do that there. Now, when we complete each stage, we will toss all of... What? What? Okay, so, one thing that, I did pride the SNES version on is the fact that Harry and Marv in that game actually looked like Harry and Marv. They looked like Joe Pesci and, Daniel Stern, respectively. But, now in this, we don't have Harry and Marv, we have some random angry skinhead bodybuilder and the electrician. Who is, good, not back, cool. Yeah, he seems like a guy from, you know, he's a repairman, he's, doesn't look anything like Marv. Seriously, what is that? Okay, and we have this still as random as ever. In the SNES version, you have the, thing that, I think it's a ring that pops out of the, fridge, lands on a table, but you can't actually get up on the table. You have to, jump up and down on the side of it, which sort of causes an earthquake and makes the ring bounce toward you. Never understood that. It's like the one table in the game that you can't simply jump up on. Yeah, I don't care. So, now that we've cleared, all the stuff out of all the rooms, and by that I mean gotten enough for the quota. Doesn't matter that there's more stuff that can be stolen. Oh, that's new. Now we're locked in the basement. Before it was just, you know, we just went into the basement and that was that. Yeah, let's see. Oh, so we start off with this kind of thing. These spiders were in the 3rd level in the SNES game, so, very interesting to see them in the 1st level here. Game Boy controls and hit detection are making it a little bit hard to get through here. It's an okay rendition of the, basement song from the Super NES version. Let's see. Oh! So, yeah, bosses are a thing in the Super NES version, although, yeah, in that version, the first stage, you only have rats in the basement. Actually, I think it's rats and bats, but, there's no actual boss in the first stage. And evidently, this game doesn't expect you to be able to jump over the boss, because that's, being incredibly pixel perfect on that jump, so I'm just gonna keep doing this. Oh, and I can just walk away from the boss. So that's kinda nifty. Kind of unusual, I suppose, but, Yeah, I can't run forward, though. I was kinda hoping I could just skip the boss. So, there we go. Spider has died, and we do a twirly thing. Oh hey, and this one actually makes sense. It shows us tossing all the stuff into the vault. In the Super NES version, this stuff just magically flies into the vault while you're doing your twirly jump. Okay. And apparently, these games decided that Kevin has just load upon load of toys. Also, giant soldier... What? Okay, that's supposed to be Marv, not Harry there, but oh well. Let's go ahead and see if, Okay, let's see. Well, yeah, still is here, so that's nifty. This is actually a really good port of the Super NES game. Oh, and now I guess 7 is our maximum. Jumped up to 8 in the Super NES version in this stage, but that's okay. Still kinda weird having this stuff close. Very used to the SNES version where everything, just stays open permanently. Also, I'm now wondering... I'll have to check. Okay, yes. Just that, stuff appeared as I stepped on the pool table, which was weird. I was thinking that they might have changed it, but, in the Super NES, and apparently in this version, you do have to keep pressing up as you pass by everything to try and find the secrets hidden in everything. Because apparently there's just toys and expensive goods just crammed behind pictures and into tables, and yeah. Like a lot of the things that make sense, like the hamper, you open the top and you put the stuff in to hide it. But when it's something like, I don't know, all this various other stuff, it just makes a lot less sense. Like, how do you hide, for example, in a later stage, television behind a picture? And we're talking an early 90s big screen TV kind of thing. Yeah, okay, somewhere there should be... Damn it, no, nope. Gotta go back for it. I guess there's only one, laundry chute per floor in this game. Okay, here we go. Yes, we did. Also, not exactly the best, version of this song here. What the... What even is that? I'm not even sure what that was supposed to be. Yeah, I suppose Toy Boat is possible for that. Oh, now. We've got a different repairman. Doesn't have a utility belt like the other one did. Do you actually have anything behind you? Yes, you do. Okay. So we will make the effort of, getting rid of you. Just check behind these other things. Nope. Okay. And yeah, this really is not a good version of this song. Well, yeah, you can just stay up there forever then, Mr. Goon. And I'm thinking now that's more like a like a big rig kind of thing, like a tractor trailer. Just very, very weird. Maybe like a dump truck, or just seriously weird perspective on it. And once again, back out to the chute. Really glad that there were no, floor traps in between us and that. Yep, a little bit too far there. Wait, what? Predicting the, internet question of ASL. Probably a good, when was this made? 91, so... good, 8 years early. I think that's all of them. And we'll get this one out again. Okay. Yeah, that didn't really give me much time to get past him there. Oh, that somehow worked. Sure. Let's see, can we bounce high enough to grab what I can only assume is supposed to be the toy robot? There we go. And yeah, this whole mechanic of bouncing higher and higher is quite unique to the Game Boy version. Yeah, no. Looks like, you only have to press up to find the hidden goodies. All the other stuff just sort of appears. No? Never mind that, because now I have to press up to get that slingshot, so... all bets are off. Some things just appear, others you do have to hit up to find. And you're always going to appear to the left of me, apparently. Oh my! Spatial distortions and duplications. Although I suppose we already had cloned goons, so why not cloned Harrys, too? Can we get them both on the same screen? And will the universe end if the two of them touch each other? Oh, the other one disappeared. So it really was just a case of him always appearing to the left of us somehow. Oh, here's a thing. That was not a thing in the Super NES game, being able to get to +1. That probably has an effect on the score. Ah, and yes, aftershave. Oh. Oh, that's amazing. One Harry for every screen. Aww. But, yeah, that is a thing in the Super NES version as well. You find aftershave in the bathroom, and it's this game's invincibility. I don't know why. It just is. Oh, and here we have the rats. But, yeah. In the SNES versions, The bathrooms are generally right next to the basement door, so you can get your aftershave and, well, provided you don't take it earlier in the stage, you can get your aftershave and then just run straight through all the basement baddies. And not really worry about dealing with timing or not taking damage, since none of your weapons work in the basement. Thanks, Game Boy Port, for getting that correct. Okay, in the Super NES version, none of your weapons work in the basement. But apparently even here, even though they work, they don't actually have any effect. Come here. I also don't know why a single brick in the basement is loose enough to fall when you just brush by it, and why it keeps regenerating, but, again, video games. It's, possible to jump under, or run under. Probably possible, yes. Ah, good. So now, the Super NES game had 4 stages total, which again is really short for this kind of thing, but it's one of those mercifully short kind of things. So far, everything is matching up except for the boss order. And I can very, very vaguely hear the original Super NES song kinda sorta in the background, but yeah, again, this is not a good version of this song. Also, generally, the lights you could jump up actually had a reason for getting to the top in the Super NES version. This one seems to have a bit less of a purpose behind most of them. It was fun in the SNES version when you collected Game Boys in the electronics wing. Now it's even more so, just collecting Game Boys on a Game Boy. Oh, herp derp, I'm at 8. I'm full. Okay.